All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto you. How about Shemal Shabbat, Shalom Kakodash, double honor to the apostle and others, great millstone, Shalom to all the Achaemenid pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, I just wanted to do a response on this lesson the bishop here in Atlanta did pertaining to living on the edge. Every man should have an edge about himself. Yeah, and that's 144, percent, accurate, 144% true. Every man should have an edge, especially here in captivity. And I definitely wanted to echo that same sentiment. In your daily endeavors, you should be challenging yourself. That's the only way to elevate and progress. Because if you're, staying settled, you're technically going backwards. If you look at water that's settled, if you look at anything that settles for a span of time, bacteria, certain viruses and things start to grow because that environment has been too, it's basically that. It's been too settled. It's been too stable, and it has facilitated, an environment. The pH, gradually breaks down, because things aren't active. When you see waterfalls, you see different currents and channels of water that's constantly moving, that constantly being active, that environment for that water, you know, is the best that water can sustain in, and that water is the best water to actually drink when you drink spring waters, because when you look at springs, it's active water. All right, it's an environment that's always hostile. If you see these different water currents, some people you know, can't even bear to stand in it because of how aggressive the current can be. But that same water, you know, is very, pure. All right. So, and the Lord likened us and likened His word unto living waters, constantly moving, constantly changing. This truth is breathing. It's likened unto the wind. It speaks about how the wind, doesn't even know where it lists if it goes from here to there. So, in your daily life, you gotta put yourself on challenges, man. Reading more, getting more in tune with the spirit, through your daily endeavors, putting yourself through, like, the bishop was speaking about, resist training, man. Put yourself in these certain training grounds, whether it's actively, doing something pertaining to sports, apprehending a skill. It's written in Sirach 1:19, wisdom random down skill. Men in the scriptures were very skillful. They had a lot of traits and characteristics. They were very full bodied, all right, in their life, through their courses they went through. You seen that it wasn't nothing that they couldn't overcome because they were so on the level, that anything that came against them, they knew how to work around it. They knew how to get over it. But I'm just going to get into the definition. I'm going to get into a few scriptures. This is living on the edge. Living on the edge means living a dangerous and or unusual everyday life, right? And you don't put yourself in deliberate danger. And I remember the bishop spoke on that also. This ain't a thing where you just going in the middle of the street hooping and hollering, getting a response, thinking that's that equals, masculinity. You know, Living a quiet life is one of the most defined lives that you can live. Knowing when to reserve your tongue, knowing how to deal with etiquette, deal with poise in certain situations, whether you're in these perilous situations, because the Lord is going to put us through these different challenges, man. He's going to put us in situations and scenarios that our spirits have to be ready for, and it starts now. Putting yourself in these certain grounds that you're usually uncomfortable with, because what comfort is the enemy. you know Always just being in the house, always just going through your daily regiment, that can be very toxic. you know so it says people who live on the edge are very frequently exposed to physical and psychological, economic, lawful, or other kinds of dangers. Right. So, they have the examples given: sportsmen, gamblers, policemen, thieves, human rights activists, rappers, etc. And of course, the Lord likens us unto sheep. And it's not always just physically putting yourself in certain zones that are, you know, test your character. you can put yourself in certain discipline regiments, and I'm speaking to myself too. Being more actively reading, staying on a reading regiment, disciplining your lifestyle, cutting off certain foods for a appointed time, certain things that you like most, getting your body on edge, man, because the body tends to get acclimated to what you're used to on an everyday basis, because what you chase after pleasure, you chase after certain things that and we all do. That's how the human, you know that's just human biology. Your body is gonna, you know, go to something. You're gonna put on a certain temperature in a house that's regulated to how you want to feel. All right, you're gonna put on certain shows that's gonna make you feel good. You're gonna do everything that's gonna make you feel good, on the inside and most comfortable. And you don't look to break out of that certain cycle, because that's what makes you feel at ease. And the Lord is not dealing, in that spirit of just fully feeling at ease, man. You know, we're behind enemy lines. We are not in our. This is not our rest. It's written in the book of Micah. Was that 2:10? That this is not our rest. This place will verily, it'll surely destroy us. And I want to give an example. Matter of fact, let me just read that, because I do want to expound a little bit into that notion. Micah said it best, and we got to think like the ancient prophets. We got to, Scripture speak about the prophets being subject unto the prophets. We got to keep our mindset like our forefathers. They wasn't chilling in the midst of captivity. Televisions didn't exist, smartphones didn't exist, all these different, innovations, of entertainment. They weren't, chased and coveted by the ancient men. These men were all about, apprehending the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shai, elevating their people, sharpening their mindset, growing, developing their nation as well as their house, building upward, man, establishing, and all that building. How could they do all that building, behind a controller, you know, or on a couch, and it, like I said, it starts